Hi there folks, it is that time again. I am going to be critiquing your models and giving them a score out of 10. So as you can see, I'm in the painting general section of my Discord, link in the description if you'd like to come and join us. And I posted, everyone please reply to this with any models you wish me to review in the new painting video, and this is what you guys posted. So we have here Scrumpy Cow with quite a nicely painted historical miniature. I actually don't know what this is. I assume it's like, I don't know, pike and shot to Napoleonic? It's got to be, it can't be Napoleonic. But anyway, somewhere around sort of 17th, 18th century. But it looks pretty good. I like the fact that he's neatly outlined in black around the details. This is something I always mean to do, but frankly, forget. And I'm always kind of rubbish at it anyway. But this is really good. The eyes are also very good. I actually go out of my way to avoid painting eyes because I'm really bad at it. So really good job. Solid 5 out of 10. These are some good old-fashioned Dreadnoughts. I'm a big fan of the old Dreadnought. I don't like the new Dreadnought. I like the fact the old Dreadnoughts are stumpy little legs. Basically, they look like giant coffins. And they look just robust. And it was the Dreadnought, Space Marine Dreadnought, the classic Space Marine Dreadnought that 30 odd years ago plus now got me into 40k. These aren't bad. These aren't bad. The actual painting itself is crisp and quite smooth. But I can't help but notice it doesn't look like there's been a wash used on the metallics. So it gives them a kind of flat, less than three-dimensional feel. I was watching, I can't remember what video this was, so I can't shout out the painter, but they were saying, look, just use two-dimensional painting techniques on your models. That's how it works. And it really brings out depth in them. So that's the only thing really that makes me want to sort of mark this down in any way. And I just want to be clear, right? I realize I'm quite a scathing critic, but remember, you're not comparing yourself to other people. You're comparing yourself to how you were 6 months ago. And criticism is to help you improve, to point out those bits constructively where, oh, that's good, but you can improve on that. So next time you'll do better and you'll be more proud of yourself. So I'll give this a good 5 out of 10. So this is Gachi's Luther, the true master of the Dark Angels. Not bad. The painting isn't as smooth as it could be. I get the feeling you're not watering your paints enough, which again is something that took me a long time to do properly. I actually went and got a wet palette for this. I made my own initially. In fact, do I have it here? I had. Oh, there we go. So right, you can actually make a really simple wet palette out of a Tupperware tub that you can get off Amazon for like £2. And then in there, you just get some baking paper, baking parchment, I think it's called. Again, like £3 off Amazon, something like that. And then just something to hold water, put it on top. Works really well. I got this army painter. That's full of water. I shouldn't throw that around. Wet palette. And to be honest with you, I actually think this is a bit better. I should go back to it, really. But I've paid good money for this and it costs more. So that's really the only major critique I have, because I can see a bit of roughness on the paints and it looks like the paint was a little dry when it was going on. But it's the only other thing I'd say here is color composition. Now, color composition is a difficult thing to get if it's not a sort of natural thing to you. But I don't know whether you notice, like the shoulder pad, the coat, and the sword and all that, it's all quite dark, which is fine. Can I get this up in a browser just to get... No, because it's... Okay. It's all quite dark, and that's fine. It's not bad to have a dark miniature, but it is good to have contrast, because contrast draws the eyes. Now, the good contrast on this is the face. It does draw you to the face, which is a shame because the rest of the miniature is very interesting and very attractive. So don't be afraid to choose something and make it a bit brighter next time. But again, really good. I'll give it a solid 5 out of 10. This is absolutely lovely. What a great effort here. Who's this from? This is from Wally. Right, what a great effort on his Terminator Captain. Now, there's salamanders, I'm guessing, because of the colours, and the fact that the guy's got sort of charcoal black skin. But this is really, really nice. I love this edge highlighting. It's very crisp, very clean. He's done a good job on the Aquilia, I think it's called, too. And look at these. Look at those. Absolutely lovely. Yellow's a very interesting colour to do for lenses as well. I don't think I've ever really done yellow on lenses, but they're really well done. The only thing I would recommend is going brighter in the core, the sort of the heart of this fire, to make it look more like it's actually burning, because it looks a little bit sort of painted on at the moment, whereas the rest of the model is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. So again, minor critique, really good job, very, very crisp, very clean, nice barrel burning as well there. Excellent. 5 out of 10 easily. Well done. So I particularly like this. Look at this color scheme. Again, we'll get this up nice and close, right? Look at this. This is superb. Now, I don't really have the patience to paint patterns on the miniatures. Apparently, it looks great when you do. Apparently, it can be really, really effective. Superb stuff. I mean, there's a bit of blob there, but that's all right. Nothing you can't cover up. Really cool, like Def Leppard trousers sort of effect on him. Really, really striking. And I imagine if you... this probably took ages to paint as well. For who was it that did this? This was Cole. Probably took ages to paint, which I don't envy, but then a lot of my models take ages to paint as well. I bet an entire army of these guys would take hours, but would look amazing on the table. I can't help but think that a Land Raider and Dreadnoughts in this colour scheme would look superb. We'll give that a 5.5. That is just spectacular. Love it. So here we have Spyron's Necrosius and Fulgrim. I'm going to have to get those up in the browser. So, God, he looks hideous, doesn't he? Which is exactly what you want from Plague Bearers. So I think that the paint's probably a little bit too thick on this, because you can see the sort of roughness on the paint. Now, that might be deliberate, but just in case it's not, I'm going to level that critique. I mean, like, I can see the brush strokes there. So I would say the paint's a little bit thick. You definitely want to water that down. I would recommend some Nuln Oil, actually. I try not to use Nuln Oil. It is a crutch, but that would probably really help give a bit of depth to the blade. But it feels grim, which is the feeling you're looking for when you're coming to Plague Bearers. I mean, he definitely feels diseased, and I do want to take a step back and get away from him. So good job. We'll give him a 5. And okay, that's much better. Yeah, that's really nice. I like the amount of the detail there. Looks very nice. Good hair. Looks like there's a lot of work that's gone onto the blade as well. Again, more than I would do. And another thing I've learned as well is that photographs rarely actually do a miniature justice. Usually miniatures look a lot better in person than the camera allows them to. I have to spend a lot of time actually setting up like professional lights, because of course I have them, to get my miniature to look, basically give your miniature a photo shoot, right? To make it look good. I recently tried getting a light box to see if that helped. Didn't help. Made it look worse. So I've got to set up the full photo shoot to get the miniatures to look nice. So if you're thinking, well, it doesn't look amazing, it looks good. And it looks like there's a lot of time and love that's been spent on this. I think you could probably have done a bit more with these. Like, get a very fine brush and just do little dashes, basically, and crosses to look a bit more, rather than just lines. But it's not a big deal. And I think that looks pretty good. Give that a solid 5. Well done. So, Crimson here has sent me some Skeleton Guardsmen. Oh, cool. Okay, that is very novel, very creative. I mean, where did you get these models? This is very, very cool. I like the bases too. I've no idea what era I'm looking at. He's got chainmail, he's got a gun, a stick bomb, he's got an electric guitar. So what is this, World War II, World War One, and then like Vietnam or something, I don't know. Like, when were electric guitars invented? It's got to be late in the 50s. But that's the problem, you see. The problem is the lack of time period specific and consistent equipment on the skeleton Imperial Guardsman. That's the problem. But no, this all looks really good, and very creative, very original. I haven't seen anything like it, so very nice. Give that a 5.5. Very good. Right, so Jacob here has some old world painting. Whoa. Look at this guy. But you can see what I mean about the photo. Like, I think this model is a lot better painted than the photo makes it look. I took a bunch of photos of my Dreadnought the other day and just sent them to my wife just to be able to download them onto my computer easily. My wife was like, every single one of these is blurry, take them again. And she's right, they all shit. Taking photos of them is also not easy, actually. But this looks really cool. I don't really have much to say. I guess slightly more definition around some of the parts, but it's really minor. Maybe fade these colours a bit because they're a little bit blocky. Maybe a bit more, maybe a wash or something over the beard. But otherwise, again, I'm being really, really picky. It's probably not a giant miniature. I don't know why my ear's itching either. It's probably not a giant miniature, so I'm not trying to be too critical. Give them a 5.5. That's good. In the interest of time, I won't do multiple miniatures. Oh, wow, look at these. Right, so this is Bolter with a Gorilla Blood Bowl squad? I've never even seen these. Oh, they look amazing though, don't they? Absolutely superb. Look at those. Lovely, lovely detail picking out here with the wash. I'm very timid when it comes to using blood effects. I do have like a Citadel blood around somewhere. I'll put it around somewhere. I've not actually used it because I'm worried about like if I've spent ages, hours, like painstakingly doing a model and then just like splatter with blood, I feel like I'm kind of ruining it. But it's, I mean, as you can see, he's done a brilliant job here. So, I mean, this really works. Good color contrast overall. The models they don't get sort of samey to look at, even though they're all just gorillas that are beating the hell out of someone. Really nice. Great. Good bases too. I like the bases. I like using coloured grass. It makes them interesting. So yeah, good solid 5 on that one. Nice. Ooh, Viking Saga. What have we got? Some actual Viking warriors. Oh, these are cool. These are very cool. I've not played Saga, actually. I've heard lots of good things. Apparently it's good. Not bad. Well done for doing the eyes. Well done for doing the eyes. I tell you, I'm absolutely atrocious at eyes, like I said. Not bad. Not bad. I think you probably could have done some sort of highlight gradient on the shield because it's easily tilted, so it'd be easy to fade from one side to the other to get a sort of convincing overall highlight on it. But otherwise, I mean, it looks perfectly good. Perfectly good. Possibly a wash or something to darken the creases here, just to, because they look a little bit shallow, and on the boots as well. But I am being hypercritical when I say that. I really like the freehand that you've done on the shield there. I'm not brave enough to do freehand, so really well done there, mate. Really well done. 5.5. What have we got from Irrational Dane? What is this? Is this like a midget? Is this an old Space Marine? A Chaos Space Marine, isn't it? I have no idea what it is, but yeah, it looks good. Again, one thing you could do is try and pick out the distinction between where bits of it stop, right? Like I'm terrible for it, and I should do it. But something to mark out the edges between the colours would be nice. Just a black line of Nuln Oil, basically, I think would help. And white's always a really difficult colour to work with anyway. I hate using white because any tiny mistakes and if you don't have the most perfect blend going from white to sort of grey or whatever, then it really attacks the eye. Some colours are really forgiving, and white is just not one of those colours. It's the least forgiving of colours. So I don't blame you for not doing it. But if you were going to put the work in and, you know, get cracking on it, that would be really good. I'll give that a good 4.5. What's this from Asteroid Chart? Some sort of corn. Oh, is this one? No. A jackal, I think it is. Corn jackal. I haven't actually been following the World Eaters too much. I don't mind World Eaters, so they're funny. And they're kind of a lazy man's army. So, they're just guys who like to fight. Yeah, they worship a god of fighting, so they fight a lot. Yeah, a lot of fighting involved. So that just means I give them a couple of chain axes and then just let them loose. But this looks good. Bit shiny on the knee there. It looks like that should be fabric, so I wonder if that's the paint not being mixed consistently. But anyway, that's, again, really, really silly critique. Because he looks very, very good. I mean, if he's had an entire army of guys painted like this. Again, good use of blood splats. Like I said, I'm not bold enough to do it, but really good use of blood splats. And the model itself works really well with them. There's a good feeling of momentum with this guy, and you've really captured a much more gritty experience than I'm prepared to paint myself. I always paint my models like they've just come out of the showroom. Like this is the first time the army's on parade. I don't know why either. I don't know why I'm too cowardly to paint my guys as if they're in the heart of a battle, but I always really approve of it when other people do it. It looks good. Excellent. I mean, really high 5.25. Really, really decent. Ooh, we've got some BattleTech from Lorgar here. Right, okay. So we've got a crab, king crab. It's not a commando, is it? No, maybe it's commando, actually. That's the exterminator, and that's a black knight. I can't see what that is in the background. But, right, yeah, no. So one thing that's nice about BattleTech is the gaps between the armor plates. You can fill them in with a very dark wash or whatever, and it just makes the whole thing look very striking because it breaks up the unit and it gives it depth that it doesn't otherwise have. And you can see that he's done that very well on this one. I'm sure that's a commando, but it might not. No, it might not be a commando. I don't know what that is. But it gives it a lot of depth, and the great thing about it is it's very easy to do. So if you're not like a particularly experienced miniature painter, it's a very easy way to get good looking results. And again, when you have something like this on the board, it'll look nice and consistent. And again, well done for using white. Very brave. Terribly using white. You see, he's got an off white here though. But yeah, it looks good. I like the mud kicked up on the feet. Again, I'm too cowardly to do proper effects. My guys are always showroom neat. But that looks really good. Really good. Give that a 5. Ooh, a Quiet Man has a Necron of some sort. This is a BattleTech Stalker, I think. Or something like that. But the Necrons have got something similar to the BattleTech going on when it comes to the green here. But that looks good. It looks very nice. Good colour scheme. I like the use of this sort of gold/bronze to break it up. It's always a good choice with the Necrons. Because the problem with the Necrons is they're right, you're metal. It's like, oh, well, there are only like 3 different metals you're really going to use. Gold, iron, and bronze on something. And then bronze is a bit of a give. Because, I mean, like in reality, no one's actually going to be using bronze, right? It's just one of the most beautiful metals. And so you like to use it because it breaks it up. But no, this is really nice. Really good job on these. Actually, that looks very effective. Maybe a little bit of glazing to get it super smooth, but nothing to complain about. Good 5.5. Necromunda Medic. Wow, look at this. There's body positivity for you as well. So this looks great. I don't know what to say, actually. It's really well detailed. Looks crisp. Some good highlighting going on here and in the hair. Metal arm, so not too much to say about that. And leather trousers with some bandages. So yeah, that looks really good. Excellent. I'll give that a 5.5. Stovcore here is experiencing the pain of taking photos of things. I can't really see. See what I mean? Like, the photos are, honestly, photos are difficult to take. I'm not even joking. But yeah, someone's replied, what, is this the cast of the Predator movie? It's like, could be. All right, this is good. Camo is another thing that I'm terrible at painting. It's not that I couldn't do it. It's just that I wouldn't feel I'd do it right. But this looks pretty good. It reads well on the eye. Although I've got to say that it needs a bit more consistency on the flesh tones, I would say. But otherwise not bad. The most important thing really is to make sure that you just get the paint where you want it to be. And he's done that very well. So I'll give that a 4. Not bad. Not bad. And I have to say, right, everyone sent loads and loads of these through. So I'm not going to be able to do that many of them in one go. I will revisit this at some point. But right, so this is Glotis. And he has here, I think it's probably a 30k Dreadnought, although I don't play 30k. But man, if only your photo taking skills were the equal of your painting skills. Because, and again, I know this more than anyone, because this looks amazing, but you can see how pixely it is on my screen, so I can't tell. But I tell you what, man, I can tell your painting is absolutely excellent. This OSL, very well sold. This looks good. Great smooth gradient going up to the edge there, and again going down into here. Looks really good. The flame painting effect looks wonderful. Great heat effect, fire effect on the engines. Looks really solid, really eye-catching. I bet when this guy is on the table, he is the best looking thing on the table. Amazing. We'll give that a 6. A very strong, firm 6. That's excellent. Oh, this is Bjorn's 4 years of improvement. Now, this is one of the things that I like to see, how people improve over time. I'm actually not sure which one is which, but they both look very good. I'm going to Marge Simpson this one. That's very nice, dear. But they look cool. They look very cool. Give them a 5. Here's Cophius. So he's figuring out things technique-wise, so any advice would be appreciated. Let's have a look at his Hellbrute. Right, so this is pretty good, actually, especially if you're new. Right, what would I say? If you're new, I think the most important thing is to be pedantic with the basic stuff, right? So don't worry about doing any of the fancy nonsense that high-end painters do. Worry about getting the basics right, so it's nice and solid. So there are a couple of things here where I can see some inconsistency in the paint. You can see here and here. And again, I'm going to be very pedantic and picky, but trust me, this will be constructive criticism. Overall, you're quite crisp and staying within the lines, as it were, which is a good start. And well done for getting that on. I suck with decals. Well done for getting that on quite well. But I can see some inconsistency in the paint. So what I would recommend, because I suspect you're not doing too thin coats, as our Lord and Saviour Duncan Rhodes would recommend. So I would definitely recommend just making sure, just paint everything just flat coat before you do anything else with it to get everything where you want to be. The flesh tone is actually really quite good because whatever wash you've used over it works really well. The next thing you could do is pick out some details. Like there are eyes here, which you could pick out, and you notice you've missed a couple of spots there, or there's a blob that I saw. Again, I realise I'm being hypercritical and hyper picky here, but it was but it's just to put you on the right path, right? So basically, it's easy to step back after you've done something and go, right, great, because the overall effect you're very happy with, but when you drill in and you look at some of the details, think, I could have done that. I don't know why I didn't do that. And I got the exact same thing on my Hellbrute from 2022, where I was just like, why didn't I do these details? You know, why was I being like lazy about it, essentially? And so it's just small things like that. The sort of these chevrons, I don't know what they call them. Just small things that you could go back and do, or for the next one you do, make sure that you pick them up. Because the more of these, weirdly, it's detail that really makes things work. If you've got blank bits of space, or things that just haven't been done properly, you might not really notice it, but your eye does, your brain does, you know. Whereas lots of little detail, filling out detail, is what makes something look accomplished. I don't know how else to put it, really. And we'll go for the final one from zurlvanwason. Wow. Sorry, by the way, that was a 5. Zurlvanwason. Now, this looks superb, doesn't it? I don't know what it is. I have no idea what this is, but it looks great. I mean, I don't know what it is. I don't have any frame of reference at all. But let's get up another one. Because I am genuinely very impressed with this one. The blue fire looks excellent. Good bright base to it that billows out into quite dark smoke, which is good. Excellent sort of shading around this belly area. This looks really, really convincing. I like the reflection on the underneath. It looks really, really good. The whole thing, it's very understated, but it all really does come well together. The cloak, the cape, is excellent as well. This chap has been painting for good non-metallic metal here too. That really, really does sell it really very well. This chap has been painting for many years. He has watched many YouTube tutorials, I can tell, because he definitely does non-metallic metal better than I do. So that's very good. No, overall, genuinely quite excellent. I'll give this definitely a 6, I would say. Sorry if I didn't get around to reviewing your model this time, but next time I paint something, I'm going to be painting Wraithguard next, I think. Next time I finish painting something, we'll do another one of these. So feel free to go into the Discord link in the description, and when I'll put out an at everyone, because I know everyone loves those. And we'll do another one of these, and I'll do another batch of reviews next time. Thanks for joining me, folks.